Balikan ko yung membership na lang. I asked that question kasi he said he's going to be a healing president. Does that mean everybody's welcome to join the action?
Well, unless the person is particularly, unacceptable because may mga cases of corruption, may history of impunity, for instance, no, halimbawa doon sa Mindanao, mamamatay tao, natural, hindi mo naman tatanggapin, no? But syempre, politics being addition, you'd like to enlarge the number of followers or leaders you would have in the field, no? When Isko says it's a healing presidency, sawang-sawa na kasi ang tao, no? And that is also borne by both surveys and other kinds of research. Sawang-sawa na ang tao sa bangayan ng bangayan. Every 6 years, yung mananalo, gagantihan yung natalo, ipakukulong, etc. We're not moving forward that way, no? We have to think of uniting everybody, no? And
yes, sir, but
the rancor of elections and moving forward. Dami-dami ating problema eh.
But sir, I do understand what you're saying. I know a lot of people can relate to that. But a lot of people are also allergic to the notion of, you said moving forward. But people are allergic to the phrase moving on.
Move on.
Particularly coming from the Marcos camp. And then now, just today, people seeing quotes attributed to Mayor Isko Moreno that he says, notwithstanding what you said, na if it's associated with death, and so on. But he says that, for example, I'm open to giving President Duterte a position in the cabinet. And people ask, basically, is your notion of moving forward essentially the same message of the Marcos camp, which is move on?
No. We have the rule of law, no? Kung meron mga kaso, sagutin yung kaso, no? Hindi naman pwede kasi ang presidente isusuperimpose niya yung gusto niya dun sa judicial system, no? So we follow the rule of law. There are processes, no, that we have to follow, no? But it doesn't mean impunity. It doesn't mean na yung moving on is basically impunity. Patawaran na lang, no? Kay tama, kay mali, basta patawad. Hindi naman pwede yon. Otherwise, para kay pa tayo naging democracy, para kay pa tayo.
Sige, so balik na rin natin yung tanong. Under his presidency, even as moving forward is the highest agenda, will there be resource and energy and priority for accountability, particularly for the Duterte administration and still for the Marcos family?
Of course, there will be accountability, no? Because we're following the rule of law, no? Yung Marcos problem, how many years has that been? 40 years? No? 1986 pa yan, di ba? And then, there are still pending cases, di ba? Let those pending cases be resolved, no? By the courts of law. No? Similarly, if there are cases filed against the incumbent president, no, then let the rule of law proceed, no? Hindi makikialam. Yun ang sinasabi ni Isko, hindi para pakialaman, number one. Number two, hindi para gantihan. Hindi para porket natalo mo, pakukulong mo na lang o gagantihan. Perfect example is Senator Laila de Lima. No, we do not want what happened to Senator Laila de Lima to happen. But on the other hand, may mga kaso nang nasa korte, hindi naman pwedeng pag-upo mo, sabihin, utusan mo yung court of law or yung judge na, oy, pakawalan nyo si Senator Laila. No? Ang proseso, padaanin yung proseso. And if, as we think, she has been persecuted unduly, we are certain that the courts under a government or an executive who will not impose its will on the courts will eventually free her.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, I think what some people are trying to understand is yung interview ni Mayor Isko with I think ANC earlier, where the mayor said na he's willing to give the president a cabinet post. That in the framing of in the last few weeks and months, nagbabatuhan ng kritisismo yung dalawang panig. Tapos ngayon biglang pwedeng bigyan ng cabinet position. I'm wondering, sir, was that proposal or was that offer a real offer or a real possibility, or it's just a generic na parang well, maybe not?
Well, it's more generic than anything, no? That in the first place, we do not intend our vice president to lose to anybody, not even President Duterte for that matter, no? And we are very confident we can and we will make him win. I mean, Doc Willie Ong.